Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from the Challenge Championship and the Collins Cup. My name is Bob Babbitt. We're brought to you by Master Spa's Hyperice, Form Smart Swim Goggles, UCAN, HOKA, One, Clash USA, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, Mr. Daniel Baekkegard, who won Ironman 70.3 Dubai and took third in Tulsa this year. How you doing, Daniel?
Hey Bob, nice to be here.
Always a pleasure to chat with you. We got to chat a few times this year, and especially after, what race was that? St. George? Yeah, St. George.
Just before St. George.
Before St. George, yeah. And so taking third at Tulsa qualified you for Kona. Kona was just delayed. I'm imagining you were probably pretty deep in the training.
Yeah, preparing both for 7.3 Worlds. At that point, I didn't know if I was going to start Collins Cup. I was the captain's pick.
Yes, that's right.
So that was kind of the unknown. But watching the news and everything that's going on around the world, I kind of realized before that it would be a challenge to make Hawaii happen.
Yes.
So it was not like a complete disaster for me.
Right.
But still, it feels strange.
Yes.
It is difficult, but
and that's would have been your second one there, right?
Yeah, true. When they're 19 as well.
Yes, and that was the day you had a problem with your bike. You were 15th.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and you couldn't get into an aero position.
No, I had one gear and no base bar, so it was all extensions. So
but what's amazing, you still what did you run? You still ran well.
Yeah, like 240 high.
Yeah, 240 high after basically not being in a good position on the bike at all, which certainly probably did take a hell of a lot more out of you. So, I mean, anytime you start running in the 240s, you're in the hunt. You're in the hunt to win. You're in the hunt to be on the podium.
Yeah, but also, I'm also here. It goes the same. I'm here to learn how to race the best guys on the circuit. And I also, in Hawaii, I was just there to gain experience.
Right, which you did.
I did. I learned a heck of a lot, and I think I'm going to use some of that at the Collins Cup this weekend.
Did you feel that you handled the nutrition well during Kona? Because the fact that you ran so well usually means that you did a good job at that.
I think so, but I also did some mistakes during the way. Some
rookie mistakes?
Going through the lava fields, obviously sometimes you do some stupid stuff. I remember grabbing one of those salts tablets and just threw it into my mouth, and I didn't realize it was like a lot of salt. You get there. Moments like that.
A little too much salt.
Yeah, a little bit too much. But
salt.
maybe it helped me a bit. But stuff like that. I think in total I did pretty well. So I feel confident going back there.
So when I look at the European team that you're part of, it's basically an all-star team of Jan Frodeno, Gustav Iden, Patrick Lange, Joe Skipper, and then Daniel Baekkegard and Sebastian Kienle. Pretty sweet to be considered part of that team.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I look at the women's field, the women's picks, and that's
Daniela Ryf.
Almost even more impressive.
Yeah, Daniela Ryf, Annie Hogg, Lucy Charles Barkley, Holly Lawrence, Kat Matthews, and Emma Pallant-Brown, who has been on fire this last part of the season.
But it's just awesome to be a part of such a group of athletes with such pedigree, and the fact that we can just being here chatting with all the guys, because it's not normal that we get the chance to chat as we do here. Like we spend some time with each other, and I think that's pretty cool and pretty special.
And your first try was in 2015, first 70.3 in 2018, and you finished 7th. Did you know pretty much right away, okay, this is the distance for me?
There was it was a very special day.
Yeah.
Like I finally found okay, I can actually do this. And I felt I did a tons of rookie mistakes, as you should do at your first race. But I was just hooked from the beginning. The race format and everything on race day was just an awesome experience. And actually, I haven't had any bad race experiences.
Yes.
Obviously, I've had some like not as great races, but you know, I just love the 70.3 distance. It's
so in 8 days you had 2 wins. Was that 2019?
Yeah, yeah, that was sweet.
And they were both 70.3s.
No, that was 70.3 Lahti in Finland, and then Ironman Klagenfurt.
So you did a half as a warm up for a full.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice.
Are you coaching yourself, or you have a coach?
No, I'm not coaching myself. I have yeah, he's the former national coach.
Yeah.
And I remember back then he thought it would just be a stretch, but
yeah,
it was manageable. And I remember some of my teammates were in the car with him, and they said his reaction just told its own story. He was pretty proud. That's
very cool. And so your first year as a pro, 2019? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And so for the rest, will you do another Ironman leading into February, or will you stay away?
You know, it's a bit difficult because at the moment I don't feel like doing too much Ironman racing like full distance.
There's no reason to. You're already in.
Yeah, exactly. I have the slot, and you know, the world situation being as it is, I would like to just go out and race all like shorter distance racing.
Get your speed.
I can do.
Yeah, just focus on that.
And just it feels kind of strange that we sit here in August and I have done like 3 races or so. You know, normally you would do 8 or 10 races.
Which means you'll be fresh.
Yeah, exactly. But I also feel like you can be kind of you need that racing also just to keep momentum, and
you can get a little stale.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think I'll just look at the calendar and pick everything that moves and just go for it.
What have you learned from, because you're an elite swimmer? What did you learn from that? Because that's pretty disciplined. That's helped you as a pro triathlete.
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah, because you know, being an elite swimmer, that's the discipline is nothing. For me, it was was nothing compared to what it is now. You know, I learned to take responsibility of my own career and my own life in a way I didn't do as a swimmer.
So the swimmers, they're controlling your coaches are controlling everything you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And here I have to take responsibility. And, you know, obviously I have a coach who does a very good job and knows me very well.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I have to make my own decisions. And that's what I think a lot of elite swimmers are missing. The fact that they have a coach on the pool deck all times doing splits, telling them what to do. And it's quite common that if swimmers goes to practice and they found out the coach is not there,
they'll leave.
And you know, as a triathlete, you have a lot of sessions without almost all of your sessions without a coach on the pool deck. And I think that's one thing people could learn from
self-motivation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, training regime and everything from my swimming days, obviously I brought that into to triathlon, so I can handle a decent amount.
Exactly. So when you look at the other teams, is there anybody in particular you want to race against?
It's not that I've picked certain people I would favorite to race. Actually, this time I feel pretty confident that I'm in a good shape and in a good place mentally. So no matter who I'll face on Saturday, if I do well, like put a performance together, I think it doesn't really matter who I meet.
And you recently signed with Red Bull.
That's true.
And that is a great sponsor. They do amazing things.
Yeah, and I thought it was huge before I signed with Red Bull. And then I signed, went to Austria and met the guys, and I just realized, the imagination I had before was not even close to the reality.
Yeah.
Like they are.
Well, they're head and
amazing.
shoulders above every other company in terms of sports marketing. They know how to make stars out of their athletes and showcase their athletes.
Yeah, true. But also just on a personal level, the support you get, like they'll find if you are in a place like you need some advice or you need anything, they know they have athletes, they have other people who knows where you are at the moment. Yep. And what it takes to get you to a better spot or take the next step or whatever. And that's just what they do. They want world class athletes. And, I have to be honest, all my sponsors are like that, and that's something I'm pretty proud of, to have people around me who just wants me to succeed. And
that's what it's about.
I think that's pretty special.
If you look back, and it's not like your career has been that long, but is there a race that you look at as this was the most important race that I've had so far in terms of maybe what it meant to you to do well there? It doesn't even have to be a win.
The race that comes to mind is actually ITU Long Distance World Championships in Pontevedra in 2019 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a terrible year that year, to be honest, because I crashed. I was, I think, third or second out of the water with Javi Gomez. And I crashed on the bike pretty early, a self-made mistake, and then I just rode on my own for the rest of the bike ride, but finished off running as fast as Javi. And for me, mentally, that was a confidence, like, okay, so if I had not done this mistake, I could actually be in it for the World Championships.
Yeah.
So that kind of made me look back at my training and what I've done, and then think, okay, so if I just add some things and step up a bit, then I could actually make it to the top of the world.
You certainly can, and hopefully the European team will come home with the Collins Cup.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I love it. Daniel, thank you so much for taking time. Always a pleasure. Congrats on the Red Bull deal.
Thanks a lot.
That is huge. Daniel Baekkegard has been our guest, everybody. Hold on. We will be right